It was barely dawn when David's phone buzzed with a security alert. A strange car parked overnight behind his company's headquarters. As the CEO of a fast-growing tech firm in downtown Chicago, he didn't like surprises, especially not in his pristine parking lot. He glanced out his window, irritation already rising. A beat-up silver sedan sat near the dumpsters, fog clinging to its cracked windows. "Someone's sleeping in it," he muttered, jaw tightening. "Unbelievable." He called security. "Mark, check it out. If they're trespassing, call the police. If you believe true kindness always finds its way back, please tap the like button now and subscribe to support more stories like this." Down in the lot, security guard Mark approached the car. Inside was a man in his 30s, slumped in the driver's seat, his little daughter curled up against him under a blanket. Empty fast food wrappers littered the floor. When Mark tapped on the window, the man startled awake, eyes bloodshot, hair unkempt, exhaustion written across his face. "I'm sorry," he said quickly. "We'll move. Just give me a minute." Mark's hand hovered over his radio, but something about the man stopped him. The way his daughter's tiny hand gripped his sleeve, her lips murmuring, "Daddy, I'm cold." Mark hesitated, then said gently, "You okay, man?" The father nodded, forcing a smile. "Yeah. Just trying to make it till payday. My car's our home for now. Didn't think anyone would notice." Mark swallowed hard. "Wait here." He walked back toward the building. But instead of reaching for the phone, he stopped by the lobby desk. Something on the CEO's wall caught his eye. A framed photograph. A young boy in a worn baseball cap standing beside an old rusted pickup. A small house behind him, barely holding together. Mark had seen it 100 times. David always said it reminded him of how far he'd come. But the man in the car had that same look, the quiet desperation of someone who'd once had everything taken from him. Mark took a breath, grabbed the photo off the wall, and headed for the elevator. When he entered David's office, the CEO barely looked up from his screen. "So, what's the story? Did you call the cops?" Mark placed the photo on his desk. "Before you do that, maybe you should take a look at this first." David frowned. "What are you doing with—" Then he saw the picture. His eyes narrowed. Mark said quietly, "That man out there looks a lot like the kid in that photo, not in face, in spirit. You told me once you used to sleep in your dad's truck when your mom left. You said that's when you promised yourself you'd never be that helpless again." Silence filled the room. The hum of the air conditioning was the only sound. David's fingers trembled slightly as he set the photo down. Memories flooded in. The nights he'd huddled under a thin blanket, listening to his father cry quietly in the driver's seat, pretending to be asleep. The nights when kindness was a stranger. "Where is he now?" David asked, his voice low. "Still in the car. Says he'll leave if we want." David stood abruptly. "No. Tell him to come inside." When the man entered the lobby holding his daughter close, his eyes darted around nervously. "Sir, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to—" David raised a hand. "What's your name?" "Eli. My daughter's Ava. I lost my job when the factory closed. Been trying to find something steady. Didn't want her sleeping outside." David nodded slowly. "You picked the safest place you could. I respect that." He knelt slightly, meeting Ava's sleepy gaze. "You like pancakes, Ava?" She nodded timidly. "Good," he said, "because our cafeteria makes the best in the city." Eli blinked, confused. "Sir, I don't understand." David smiled faintly. "I used to be where you are, different car, same cold nights. Someone once gave me a chance I didn't deserve. I'm returning the favor." He turned to Mark. "Get them breakfast. And HR on the phone. I think we just found our new facilities." "Assistant." Tears welled in Eli's eyes. You mean a job? For me?" David nodded. "For you. And a small apartment from our employee housing program. You take care of your little girl, that's all I ask." For a moment, no one spoke. Then Ava's small voice broke the silence. "Daddy, we have a home?" David looked away quickly, hiding the moisture in his eyes. "Yes, Ava," Eli whispered, holding her tight. "We do." As they walked out together, the morning light spilled through the glass walls, painting everything gold. For the first time in years, David felt something he hadn't felt since those nights in his father's truck. Peace. He turned to Mark. "You did the right thing. Thanks for reminding me who I used to be. Mark smiled. Guess kindness has a way of coming full circle. We'd love to hear your story. What is the most memorable act of unexpected kindness you have witnessed or received? Share it in the comments below. And if this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe, because sometimes the smallest act of compassion can rewrite someone's entire story.